Make the ground shake.
Welcome to Web Enterprises. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Ahmet Atınç, publisher of Web.Enterprises. If it's your first time on Web Enterprises, make sure you hit that big subscribe button and don't forget to click the little bell icon so you don't miss anything. On today's episode, we will be reviewing two new gTLD portfolios with Greg Colvin from Arizona, United States. Hey Greg, would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Hey everybody out there, my name is Greg. I've been domaining for about 3 years now. I started in early 2015, and I basically focus on the new gTLD names. That's kind of what brought me into domaining. I have made websites in the past, so I do have a background a little bit in website design, so I was aware of domain names before. I just wasn't aware that you could buy and sell them and actually make a lot of money. And so when the new gTLDs came out, I was attracted to the idea that maybe I could get on the ground level of some domain investment opportunities similar to what a lot of the successful domainers of the 90s did. And so that's what brought me in, and I still, 3 years later, I really feel like new gTLDs are the future, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. I think I have some really cool names, and so I'm just kind of playing the game right now and hoping they catch on at some point here in the future.
Would you like to remind us what was your domain that is chosen, one of the best new gTLD domains that is owned by NamePros users?
Well, I was lucky enough to get a name that placed in the top 10, and that was client.services.
That's a great name. That's a great name.
Thank you.
How long you been holding this domain?
Client.services, I believe I'm on year 2 of holding that name. I think I have renewed it once since I got it.
And how is the renewal rate for this domain? Is it reasonable?
I believe it's $39 a year.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
So you also have a domain marketplace, right? It's called quality.domains. Am I correct?
Yes, quality.domains is my little marketplace. It's not big. It's about 100 names or so, and that's about all I can afford to maintain as far as a portfolio goes. And so I just keep, I let a few drop every year, and I replace a few, and I just try to keep upgrading the overall quality of the portfolio, but the size really doesn't change much.
How is the diversity? How is the diversity of your portfolio? Like, how many percent .com domains do you have, or how many new gTLD domains in percentages?
I would say the new gTLDs are about maybe 70% of my portfolio, and then .com is probably another 20%, and then maybe 10% .net, .org, .biz, things like that.
I see. So let's start with the first part of the review. Mario from Spain, Barcelona, have submitted these domains for our review. It starts with pharma.group. Can I get your view on this domain name?
On pharma.group?
Yeah.
Well, I like pharma.group. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the pharmaceutical industry, but I assume that's a good name. I mean, it looks good to me when I look at it, but I'm just not sure how many people use the term pharma.
Yeah.
And it might be a lot of people do, and I'm just not aware of it. It's definitely an industry I'm not familiar with, so I don't I don't know if I can say for sure if it's a great name or not, but I mean,
He
it's
also registered pharmaceutical.group, I guess, to protect these his domain name pharma.group, because they are apparently meaning the same thing. So I guess it's a wise choice for him.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, pharmaceutical is definitely a little bit long and hard to spell,
That's right.
but it is the actual term, and so it's definitely, I think, wise to go in there and grab that one too, for sure. And then Pharma.group is the more brandable version for sure. But I think that's got some potential to it.
When you review the list, read it from the beginning to the end, is there any specific domain name that is catching to your eye?
Well, I'd say on the list, on the first 10, the name that stands out to me is Euro.poker, and I'm not sure how popular poker is in Europe, but I assume it's probably pretty popular. It seems to be taking over the world sometimes, I think. Um, so I really like that one. I think um, it's just like it's a whole general area of the world.
It's a strong brand, actually, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Europe is a lot of different countries. I mean, that's a lot of people, a lot of millions of people.
Right.
And I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that like to play poker. And yeah, I mean, that one stood right out. It's short, easy to spell, and I think it has a lot of potential for sure.
I believe my favorite is also Euro.poker. It's
Oh.
very strong, very nice. What about, is there any domain that you particularly didn't like, or have any comments?
I mean, Forex or Forex Signals dot app. Not, I'm not so sure about that one,
Is that
and it might
because it
be
is
because
key?
I'm ignorant of the.
Is that because, I'm sorry? Is that because there are two keywords on that new gTLD, or you can find relevance by the string and extension together?
Well, it's kind of both of those things. I'm not a big fan of new GTLD names with two keywords in front of the dot, unless it's really good two keywords that really go together.
Yeah.
And I'm just not. I just don't understand the signals part of that name, I guess. And it might be I'm not into foreign exchange that much, so it might just be I'm ignorant on that subject, and I'm just not aware that signals could be a relatable keyword. But
It's
to
it's
me, that stands out as something I just wouldn't take a second look at if it was dropping. That's for sure.
I see. I see. It's probably meaning that it gives some alerts for day traders if the currency hits to a specific price. I believe so.
I see.
But
It could be like an app that just lets you know
right, right,
when
right.
it's. I guess I think that's kind of reaching, maybe in my opinion. Um,
What
and
about
then
yeah?
I would say I don't. And these could be great names. I just don't know what li-fi is. I've heard the term, but it's just not really something I understand, I guess. And I don't know if maybe it'll be a thing or maybe it won't be. But if it does become a thing, then li-fi.app looks like a pretty awesome name. But if it's just one of those keywords that are only around for a year or two, then it's probably not a very good name.
I see. Li-Fi, I wasn't also familiar with that term, so I made a quick Google search on that term, and it's actually something similar to Wi-Fi, but instead of a router, it's using LED lights to communicate through internet. So they claim to have 100x faster internet connection comparing to Wi-Fi, but I'm not sure if there will be some sort of application to use this technology, because I don't know the details. And if it's so, it's a great domain. But as I said, I'm not so familiar how the technology works. So it's an interesting name for sure. It's an interesting name for sure.
Yeah, especially the .app. I mean, maybe the Li-Fi group or the Li-Fi dot for sale. I'm not really sure how that would work.
Have you registered any .app domains? It just came into the market.
I have not, and I actually was pretty excited about .app, but that's just not my game. I learned when I first started, I don't even bother with opening day stuff. Yeah. Because when I first started, I remember when .chat came out, I took off work that day. I was ready to try and get some of the best names on opening day, and I just ended up wasting a lot of money, and I learned my lesson there. So I figure next year, maybe I'll grab some .apps that are dropping.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also try to catch some new .app domains, but whatever keyword I search for, it was already registered. So I didn't push it hard to find a keyword to register, because when you do that, you might regret that later. So that's why I don't own any .app domains as well. So what about the other domains in the list?
Well, I mean, while we're on .app, well, most of these are .app. I had GPS tracker.app and stock tracker.app. They are two keywords in front of the dot, but I think GPS tracker really works really well. I like that name. I would grab that name if I could. Stock tracker.app, maybe. I mean, stock is definitely a huge keyword, and stock tracker, I think everybody knows what that is, but I'm kind of on the fence on that one, I guess. I just don't know. I think there's other words you could use with stock. So I feel like there's probably other choices for somebody that would want a domain similar to that. And the more choices you have, obviously, the less likely you are to pay real money for a domain from somebody else. Let's see, cryptotrading.app. Crypto is huge right now. I was never big on crypto, and I kind of talked trash to a lot of people like a year or two ago about crypto, and I'm eating my words, so that could be a really great name.
Yeah.
And what else is there? I think that's it for that list. So I would definitely say Euro.poker is leaps and bounds above all the rest.
Right. I agree. So can we assume that like two keyword new gTLDs are not always sounding so attractive?
I feel like the whole purpose of new gTLDs, if they are going to take off, it's that you can build a brand and you can make a brand your domain name. And I mean, I feel like that mostly should be one keyword and then a dot and then your extension.
Short, catchy, and you can remember it. Like
exactly,
it's very important.
Mm-hmm. It's very important. So I'm not saying that just because there's two keywords, like it'll never work, but I just feel like it kind of puts you at a disadvantage a little bit having two keywords. Right. But if the two keywords go together, then yeah, for sure. I just feel like there's a lot fewer of those out there.
Okay, so let's review Marek Ekau's domain portfolio. He's from Czech Republic, from Prague, and when you see the list, is there any particular name that you find interesting, catching to your eye?
Yeah, I like these names. Enjoying.life, I've seen that before on the forum, and I've always liked it. I've always been a little jealous of that one.
Yeah.
I really like premium.property. I just feel like that could be a good moneymaker. Property is one of the most valuable assets that you can have. And premium, I mean, it says it all. It says it all right in the name. Premium property. I just really like that name a lot.
It's really a premium domain.
It is, yes, premium. I feel like somebody's going to want that. I mean, you have kind of similar new gTLD names that have sold that have a lot to do with property or homes.
Well,
And I feel like that one's right up there. Maybe not quite as good as some of the ones that have sold for over 100,000, but it's there. Maybe it has potential to make 50 grand. Who knows?
I know Marek that he is in real estate business, and maybe like he's planning to keep that for himself,
Oh yeah.
unless he receives a very good offer on this domain. It's really a nice domain, premium.property. It's really brandable. It's very descriptive. It's very specific and niche market. So it's really nice domain. As for enjoying that life, it's also one of my favorites from his list. Uh, I can easily see this domain on some TV ads.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's catchy and
It's a great brand name. You could build a brand around that. I could think of like 3 or 4 different things that you could use that for. What I envision is like a big website where people are just posting videos, maybe pictures, maybe a community for people that enjoy the same hobbies, things like that.
Exactly. What else? What else from the list?
Let's vacations.ltd. I love vacations. That's one of my favorite keywords. But I'm not sure how you'd use it with LTD. But who knows? I mean, it is a 3-letter extension. It's short, and I do love the keyword.
What would you prefer instead of LTD? Like vocation?
Well, let's see. Vacations would be, I think a good extension for vacation is just, anything that it's for sale, lets you know it's the place to go. Maybe vacations.site. Maybe vacation. I'm having a hard time thinking of extensions for it, but I definitely like the keyword.
If my mind is not tricking me, there was a domain sold, actually bought for. I don't remember the number exactly, but was it vocations.rentals?
I think. Was it vacation.rentals?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that one sold for a good chunk of money. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to go on vacation. It's something you search for too. I mean, when it's time to go on vacation, you're going to get online and you're going to search for it.
Exactly. And if you're looking for a rental, vocation rental, and if you see this website on the first page on Google, I can be their customer.
Mm-hmm. And that's vacations.ltd. I could see that showing up on the first page of Google, and it looks legit when you look at it. So yeah, I think that might get a click from me if I was searching for vacations.
Right.
What else?
Is there any domain that you don't like, or
Yeah, new.hosting. I don't really know what that means. It's short, but I just don't really know what it means. I guess I don't see how you could use it.
Well, can we say that short domains are not working well on new gTLDs?
I would rather they be short if it's up to me. I just feel like in this case it's short, but I just don't know new.hosting, like what's new, like if you're a first time user of like a hosting account, or if it's some new type of hosting. I'm just not sure
It's
what it
not
means.
it's not really descriptive, so you don't understand what what the domain and what the website is serving for. So it's not so descriptive, let's say.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that. And same with contact.vip. I'm just not sure what it means. Like, I get contact, I think that's a good keyword on its own. I kind of like .vip. It's short, it's 3 letters, but I just don't see how the two go together.
It might be used as an, maybe for email purposes, but just for fun, like.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I don't see some serious business on that domain as well.
And then maybe immortal.life, and that could be cool to somebody out there, but I just don't see what you'd use it for, I guess. Although, I mean, I'm not saying I really don't like that one. I just don't quite understand it. But hey, maybe there's, and that's the thing with all of these. There's might be somebody out there that sees value in it, or as doing a special project, and that happens to fit what it's for. And that's the cool thing about the new gTLD names, is they're short and they're clean. All of these names are short and clean, and they all have that going no matter what.
Right. Right. So, premium.property, enjoying.life. Is there any other domains that you would like to mention?
Yeah, virtual.fund. An investment is, I mean, I don't have a lot of money, so I don't invest or anything like that. So I'm not really familiar with that industry, but I feel like virtual.fund is probably pretty good. And I think game.hosting maybe, because there's a lot I've noticed. I'm not a gamer either. I don't really have any hobbies apparently. But I think I've seen a lot of, people getting online these days and kind of developing their own games together, and I feel like that could be something that generates some interest from the right people. I like all the names at least a little bit. Names.media. I wish it wasn't plural, but
It would be better like name.media, you mean?
name.media would be really good. Names.media just kind of ruins it for me a little bit.
Well, it's actually, important you mention this because, uh, Marek is also not a native English speaker, so sometimes we might think that we are registering a very good domain name, but sometimes we can do this kind of let's say grammar mistakes, or that kind of things. So when it's plural, it doesn't really make sense, but when it's singular, it's the deal, right? Name.media.
In this case, definitely, yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of domainers struggle with, no matter where they're from. I mean, when to use plural and when not to, and it just depends, I guess. It's just, there's no real definite answer for every name. But in this case, definitely, I think the singular would be a lot better. And I mean, sometimes you just kind of go for it anyway. I mean, if you can't get the singular, you go for the plural because it could still sell. I think I see a lot of people on Name Pros do that. You know, you can get a good keyword. It's plural, so I think it's a little easier to get.
Right.
But it's still a good keyword, so they go for it anyway.
That's right. That's right. So when you see this list, what is your most favorite? The two best domains that you see from Marek's domains.
The two best from the just Marek's, right?
Yes.
I would say premium.property and enjoying.life for sure. Those are the two that I could see really, especially premium.property. That's a great asset. I'm jealous that he has that.
Me too. So, for the Wall of Fame episode, could you please let us know your two favorite domains in these two portfolios? It's really a hard decision, I guess, because there are really quality domains I see in this in this list. So, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, overall, I like both lists. I think there are some really good names. But in this case, I think I will take one from each list. I really like the Euro.poker, and I really like Premium.property. And those two are by far, to me, those are the best ones. And, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of the way the game goes. You get lucky and you grab a really good name, and usually you have like one or two good names in your portfolio that are way better than the rest, and that's kind of what I'm seeing in these two lists too.
Exactly. So, Greg, thank you for your review. I believe Marek and Mario they will appreciate your review. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I really appreciate you inviting me to do this. I think it's a really cool idea, and I really look forward to seeing how far you can go with this. I think this is a really cool idea.
Thank you very much.
Hey fellas, if you like a domain name from the review, do not hesitate to contact the domain owner. Send an offer and see if they're interested in. Who knows, you might have some good deal out of it. I would like to remind that two of the domains will make it to Wall of Fame episode, and they will be promoted on each domain reviews until the next Wall of Fame is reported. On the following episode, we will be reviewing some gTLD portfolios that are submitted through our website. If you'd like to get a review on your gTLDs, you can submit your domains from the link below. Act fast, cause we will be accepting a limited number of submissions for each review episode. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I see you on our next vlog.